What's up, everybody? I'm back with another roller coaster review, this time again from Kings Island, third of the 13 coaster reviews. It is of Invertigo, their Vekoma Invertigo model coaster that they opened back in, I believe, oh shit, I forgot to figure out when it was open. I don't know, it was in the 90s, but it was originally called Face Off, and was rethemed when Cedar Fair took over the park. They rethemed it to Invertigo. And that's what it's been today. But yeah, basically what it is, it's a Vekoma boomerang, but instead of being above the track, you sit below the track, but it follows the same layout. And then also the trains face, you sit and you face the people that are in front of you, and kind of do so that way you get both experiences as you go around, and you can face people when you're riding. The only way you don't do that is if you sit in the very front or the very back of the train. But again, you get the same experience going both directions, and you can face it going backwards and forwards, which is really, really nice. This coaster had by far the longest line in the park, and that's because one of the longest lines in the park all day, and that's because of the capacity of the ride. It can only run one train, because it does run the same track forwards and backwards. But we had fast lanes, so it really didn't matter that much. Now, this ride definitely lives up to the old style Vekoma name of headbanging and rough. This thing was super rough, and it was the first ride that we rode that day, rode at Kings Island, that really banged my head around. But it does, the drops especially, they fly through the stations and the drops and stuff like that. Again, it goes up to a cobra roll, and then does a vertical loop. One direction, goes up the spike, goes down, does everything else again, hits the spike again, goes back down into the station. Pretty quick ride, and a lot of hand banging. Yeah, I remember just going. I remember just doing a lot of that. It was the first time I really done that. Now, compared to the racer, which will be a review that will be coming up soon, it was nothing. But I remember its fast lane line was also very, very, like, it kind of, you know how some fast lane lines, they kind of merge in with the regular line at some point throughout the ride, or they stay separate throughout the entire thing. This one kind of merged at the very end, and it's how you pick the row. It's a little difficult how they assign rows, because the thing I forgot to mention in the Kings Island review is that they assign your rows for every coaster, except for the racer. That was the only one that we did not get assigned a row for. And so they assign you a row, but you want to try and get it so you're not sitting on the same train, because the trains you sit back to back and you sit in the same train. So you want to sit in one train and then sit in another train. And kind of a little complicated trying to figure that out. And then also, I didn't know that when you go up the spikes of the ride, it's kind of like those premiere rides, like modeled with the Mr. Freeze, and then also was Batman and Robin the Chiller. You hit a little bit of a more acceleration going up. I know it's not as strong as it was on those, or was on those, I should say. But you do kind of feel it, especially because at the beginning it's got to take you all the way up, and then you hit the other spike and it takes you up a little bit farther, and it's able to drop you down and drop the whole layout and stuff like that. The whole thing is just rough. I mean, it's just bad Vekoma profiling at its finest. This is the only one of this kind of model left. The only other one that I remember of was Stinger at Dorney Park. That was removed in 2017. And now we've got the giant inverted boomerangs, which I guess are the same thing. They're really not, because the spikes are more vertical and the layout is longer and larger. And then you've also got the regular boomerangs, which are all over the place. But this is the only one of this model left in the world that I can think of. So it's a pretty unique model, but I guess it was my first experience of riding a boomerang. Truly riding a boomerang. I'd ridden an SLC at Michigan's Adventure. And maybe soon I will get to ride a true boomerang, Vekoma boomerang coaster, which I will count as a new credit if it's the upper one. Man, this ride was rough, though. I mean, it does live up to the Vekoma name of just being absolutely rough. It does have great scenery, though, because you're right. It has its own little area that it sits off in the corner, around where Banshee, Bat, the Congo water ride is, and the drop tower and everything like that. It kind of sits over there. So you can get some good pictures, some good off-ride footage of the ride, which you can't say for a lot of the coasters at Kings Island, but we could do it for this one. and that was really nice. It also is in very much need of a repaint. It doesn't look like it from a distance. You can see the nice teal colors on it. That was a nice little, I like those color schemes. Those were cool. But when you get up close to the right, you can see paint's flaking off, especially on the support beams. You can see pink underneath it, which I don't know why, but you can see pink underneath it. If there was a different ride that was pink, comment down below what it was. I have no idea. But yeah, this was another one of these wild Paramount editions that got Kings Island. It's ones that's still in operation. For my final verdict, though, I'm going to give it a good 5 out of 10. That ride was the layout was fun. It had good speed. The inversions were fun, but you can't really enjoy them that much because it was so rough. And rough is not my forte, ladies and gentlemen. I can tell you that right now. So. But it was a fun ride. If you've ridden it before, if you're in Stinger, if you're in any other Vekoma Invertigo model that I don't know of, or if you're in a regular Boomerang, comment down below your experience. I want to know. And if you think it was rough, if you think it was good, maybe I'm lying, maybe I'm not. We'll see. But yeah, stay tuned for much more amazing content, including more coaster reviews, more reviews of all kinds, much more fun stuff. And we'll stay tuned. I just lost my train of thought. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Till next time, I will see you guys later. Goodbye.